You know that feeling? Foggy mind, no energy, can't focus, irritable for no reason. You reach for coffee, for sugar, for anything within reach. But your blood already knew what was happening. Hours before you felt a single symptom. Dehydration doesn't start with thirst. It doesn't start with a headache. It starts in your bloodstream quietly, precisely, and far earlier than you think. By the time your body sends a signal you actually notice, your blood has already been running compromised for hours. Today, we go hour by hour. What your blood is doing, what your brain is feeling, what your body is working overtime to fix. By the end, that afternoon crash will never feel random again. Hours 1, 2, 3. Your blood sends the first signal. Your blood is not just liquid moving through tubes. It is a living environment, maintained at an exact ratio every second of every day. The moment that ratio shifts, your body knows. It's not eventually, immediately. The moment water stops coming in, that ratio begins to change. Your blood starts thickening slightly. Water content drops. And your brain detects this shift before you feel anything at all. Deep inside your brain, the hypothalamus monitors your blood around the clock. The moment it detects rising blood concentration, it activates two responses at once. First, it signals your kidneys to stop releasing water. Urine output drops. Your body is already holding on to every drop it has. Second, it triggers thirst. Research shows that by the time you actually feel thirsty, your blood concentration has already shifted. An hour ago, you felt fine. Your body just hadn't sent the signal yet. By hour 2, your kidneys are producing the most concentrated urine they can make, and you probably haven't noticed a thing. Think about yesterday. Leave your number below. Hours 3 to 6, your blood starts to thicken by hour 3. Conservation alone is no longer enough. Your blood volume is dropping, not dramatically, but measurably. The liquid part of your blood, the part that carries red blood cells, nutrients, and removes waste, is decreasing. Your blood is getting thicker. And your heart is the first to feel it. Here's the mechanism. Your heart's job is to push blood through your entire body at consistent pressure. When volume drops, maintaining that pressure gets harder. So your heart does the only thing it can. It beats faster. Research shows your heart rate begins rising at fluid losses. Your body hasn't even registered as thirst yet. You are not exercising. You are not stressed. You're sitting at your desk, slightly dehydrated, and your heart is already working harder than it should. At the same time, your kidneys trigger a hormonal chain reaction. They detect the drop in blood pressure that comes with lower volume. In response, they release a hormone, signaling your body to hold on to sodium. Wherever sodium goes, water follows. Since you haven't provided water, your body is attempting to rebuild blood volume from the inside, using chemistry alone. This is your biology working intelligently. But intelligence has a cost. Every one of these compensation systems draws on energy and resources your body could be using for focus, repair, and everything else you are asking it to do. Instead, multiple systems are running at elevated capacity just to maintain basic blood function, and it is only hour 4. Hours 6 to 12, your brain and energy feel the shift. This is the phase most people live in without ever realizing it. By hour 6, the effects have moved beyond your bloodstream and into your experience. Your brain is 73% water. It is one of the most water-dependent organs in your body, and extraordinarily sensitive to shifts in blood chemistry. Research consistently shows measurable drops in focus, memory, and processing speed at dehydration levels so small that most people would never identify them as a problem. Here is what it actually feels like. Sit down to work and thinking feels slow, like your brain is moving through something thick. You read the same line twice. You lose your train of thought mid-task. A low-level irritability settles in with no obvious cause. That is not a bad day. That is your brain running on blood that has been below its optimal state for hours. Your muscles feel the same shift. Muscle tissue is nearly 80% water. Every contraction requires precise electrical signals traveling through your cells. When blood chemistry changes, those signals travel differently. Studies show measurable reductions in strength and endurance at hydration deficits most people never consciously notice. And then cortisol enters the picture. By hour 8, your body is reading low blood volume as biological pressure. And biological pressure triggers cortisol, your primary stress hormone. Research shows dehydration raises cortisol independently of any other stressor in your day. This is the connection almost nobody makes. That tense, edgy, low-grade stressed feeling some afternoons, the one with no obvious explanation, often has a precise biological address. Your blood volume dropped. Your cortisol rose in response. Hours before you connected how you felt to what you drank. You were not stressed, you were dehydrated. And your biology responded the only way it knows how. Hours 12 to 24, what your body is actually running. By hour 12, your body has been managing this deficit for half a day. Your heart has been beating slightly faster. Your kidneys have been filtering thicker blood under lower pressure. Your hormonal systems have been working simultaneously, holding sodium, conserving water, managing blood pressure, all to maintain a baseline that a single glass of water could restore in minutes. Research shows that at this level of accumulated dehydration, the effects become consistent and significant across nearly every system. Focus, energy, mood, physical performance, all measurably affected. Not because something is broken, because your blood, the delivery system for everything your body needs, is running below the conditions it was designed for. Here's what this means for the patterns you have normalized. That 3 o'clock energy drop. The afternoon brain fog you have blamed on your schedule. The low-grade fatigue that shows up most evenings. These experiences have a biological mechanism. And that mechanism begins in your blood, hours before you feel anything. Your blood supplies every organ in your body. Every thought, every heartbeat, every repair process runs on what your blood delivers, and your blood runs on water. Not approximately, precisely, continuously. By hour 24, your kidneys are working at maximum concentration capacity. Waste products are accumulating in your bloodstream above normal levels. Every compensation system is still running because the deficit is still there. This is not your body failing. This is your body compensating with everything it has. The sophistication of that compensation is extraordinary. But compensation has a cost. And that cost is paid in the focus, energy, and clarity you have nothing left to give. After everything in this video, the thickening blood, the cortisol rise, the brain affects what pattern in your own daily energy finally makes sense in a way it never did before? Tell me below. You thought you were tired. You thought you were unfocused. You thought the afternoon crash was just how things are. Now you know what was actually happening in your blood. Hours before you felt anything, your kidneys were conserving water. Your heart was compensating for lower volume. Your cortisol was rising in response to pressure your conscious mind hadn't registered yet. Your brain was already running on blood below its optimal state. This was not weakness. This was not a bad day. This was your biology executing a sophisticated compensation program precisely, intelligently, and at a cost you were paying in focus and energy without ever knowing why. The story you were told about dehydration was incomplete. Not wrong. Incomplete. Because nobody connected the blood chemistry to the afternoon fog. Nobody explained that the tired, slow, edgy feeling had a precise biological address present in your bloodstream hours before you noticed anything. That was never a mystery. It was always biology. There is no average body. There never was. There is only yours, running exactly the program it was built to run, with exactly the resources you give it.